pleasant morning, fellow Toastmasters. At this point, let me call to order the start of our very first virtual online area contest for Division L, Area 1.
Thank you very much, AD Kina. Good morning, everyone. I am Sha Mangabat, and I will be your Toastmaster of the day as well as your contest master. To proceed, we will be led in an invocation by Toastmaster Ruth Aguyo, followed by the Philippine National Anthem, followed by the Toastmasters Promise by TM David Ramirez.
Let us put ourselves in the presence of God. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Almighty Father, praise and worship to your holy name. We give you thanks for the gift of life and for the grace we continuously receive from you. Today we ask again for your grace. Please send the Holy Spirit, O Lord, to guide us as we hold this area contest. May we find you in every activities that we will do today. We ask for your help, O dear Father. Allow us to start and finish this contest smoothly. Please give us internet connection. May this gathering foster good camaraderie among us Toastmaster members, and may we find joy in attending Toastmasters meeting. We all give back to you the success of this contest. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas. Kayang magiliw, telas ng silanganan, alam ng puso, sa dikit mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tuyak ka ng magiting, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisigil sa mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas. Kayang magiliw, telas ng silanganan, alam ng puso, sa dikit mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tuyak ka ng magiting, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisigil sa nagat.
Fellow Toastmasters, let's raise our right hand and all together let's recite the Toastmasters Promise. As a member of Toastmasters International and my club, I promise to attend club meetings regularly, to prepare all my projects to the best of my ability, basing them on the Toastmasters education program, to prepare for and fulfill meeting assignments, to provide fellow members with helpful constructive evaluations to help the club maintain the positive, friendly environment necessary for all members to learn and grow, to serve my club as an officer when called upon to do so, to treat my fellow club members and our guests with respect and courtesy, to bring guests to club meetings so they can see the benefits Toastmasters membership offers, to adhere to the guidelines and rules for all Toastmasters education and recognition programs, and to act within Toastmasters' core values of integrity, respect, service, and excellence during the conduct of all Toastmasters activities.
To give warm welcome and introduction, I will give the floor to our very industrious and responsible area director, Carmina Torres.
Again, a pleasant morning, everyone. Welcome to our very refreshing online speech contest for Area 1 of Division L. We have been through a lot since the pandemic started. We had to adapt to changes. But today, we are united, Area 1 and fellow Toastmasters, to witness of our very own Area 1 Toastmasters. We hope that everyone who's present today will learn from each other, will learn from our speakers, because in Division L, Area 1, we have a game plan. So I'm asking you, are you game? Let's start this game right now. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kina. Thank you. Yes, we are game. We are game. Spell Toastmasters speech contest is a long-standing tradition of Toastmasters International and is considered the ultimate Toastmasters experience. It aims to give a solid platform for members to demonstrate the result of their Toastmasters journey. I myself experienced this on my not so less than 6 months stint as a Toastmaster member way back in 2017. Just like some, if not most of us here, I myself has been a victim of voluntold in a so-called rookies contest in another division, specifically table topics category. Imagine that mixed emotions of excitement and fear and that relinquishing heart-pumping thrill. Are you curious what was the contest topic given back then? It goes like this. Contestant number 3, Marisha Dolo. Your topic is, do you believe that first love never dies? And I was like, all smiles at the outside upon hearing it. But deep inside, my alter ego was like, how cruel Toastmasters can be. How dare them ask this question when my first boyfriend, was watching me back then at the back of the stage. I was like, what would he think? If I answer yes, he might think that I'm head over heels in love with him. Duh. But my dilemma was if I said no, he might think that I'm not serious with the relationship. So imagine that experience. But to cut the story short, I was able to answer it. In fact, as a first timer, I think I aced it simply because I did not go under time nor overtime. And you know the ending? Of course, I did not win. So what was the lesson during that contest? In short, don't bring your boyfriends or your girlfriends in contests. They might pose a threat to your insanity because by experience, I won when he was not around. So don't bring your boyfriends or girlfriends. So kidding aside, that experience made me fall in love with Toastmasters. It made me fall in love the first time with Toastmasters contest. I met a lot of new friends, new mentors, contest rivals, people who, despite the very short period of time, have shown genuine passion and it helped one grow. So, our sincere prayer and hope for everybody for today's contest is to bring the best out of each other and rekindle the fire, our love for our beloved Toastmasters. After all, we belong to Division L, love. So, this is it. Let's move forward to the main highlights. The contest sequence would be international prepared, followed by table topics, and last would be evaluation. So let's break a leg and rock and roll, starting with the international prepared contest. So the International Prepared Contest of the Toastmasters International is designed to provide an opportunity to inspire the audience by applying the basic skills learned from the previous speech projects. The first and second place winners today will represent Area L1 in the division level of competition. Since this is an individual speech delivery, all contestants need not leave the main contest room. However, marshals shall take control of the Zoom room to ensure that there will be no distraction from the audience, like unmuted mic and turned on video, while the contestant is delivering his or her speech. To be eligible to this contest, the contestant must be a member in good standing of a club in good standing. In addition, contestants must have completed at least 6 speech projects from the Competence Communication Manual or at least earn certificates of completion in levels 1 and 2 of any path in the Toastmasters Pathways learning experience. The time allocation is from 5 to 7 minutes. Speeches less than 4 minutes and 30 seconds or greater than 7 minutes and 30 seconds shall be deemed disqualified. The timing will begin with the contestant's first definite verbal or non-verbal communication in the Zoom screen. The contestants have been briefed on the rules, the Zoom screen location, and operation of the timing lights, as well as the rules in case of disconnection. And in accordance with the Toastmasters contest rules in international speech contests, I will make no introduction of the contestants and merely announce each contestant's name twice. Immediately upon conclusion of each contestant's speech, we will observe 1 minute of silence while our judges complete their ballots. Contestants have drawn for possession. The speaking order shall be contestant number 1, Salve Trinidad Malihan. Contestant number 2, Maria Karen Menyes Rodil. Contestant number 3, Jill Karen Farley. Contestant number 4, Will Lois Perez. Before we start the contest, I would like to remind the Zoom audience on some rules to be observed during the proceedings. So always maintain your mic on mute and your video cam turned off. The Zoom video settings must be set to hide non-video participants or have the show non-video participants turned off. This is to ensure that the focus of the Zoom screen shall be to the contestant and the timer only. The audience is requested to refrain from leaving or entering the Zoom link while the contest is ongoing. Only join requests from disconnected contestants, judges, and other contest officials shall be allowed. Appreciation of the speech is welcome via Zoom chat. However, we encourage audience to ensure that the posted chat messages are not distracting or offending to the speaker. To the contestants, contest officials, and judges, in case you get disconnected, please notify our contest chair so that you can be immediately admitted in the Zoom contest room. We are now set for the contest. Chief Judge, are the judges ready?
Yes, they're all ready.
Chief Judge? Nice. Contestants, are we ready?
We are ready.
I will presume. Okay, somebody spoke. I will presume everybody's ready. Fellow Toastmasters, welcome to the 2021 International Speech Contest. Let's now start with contestant number 1. Spotlight, please. Can you see the timer?
No contest.
No? Okay, timer. Okay.
There you go.
The other timer. Okay, can you see the timer now? Let us test your equipment. Can you do some mic test?
Hello, mic test. Hello. Hello, mic test.
Okay.
Am I clear?
Yep. Are we set?
Yes, contest master.
Okay. Let's start. Contestant number 1. Salve Trinidad Malihan. Spaces. Spaces. Salve Trinidad Malihan.
It was a dark and stormy November afternoon. The nasty typhoon was rambling outside. Electricity has been out for almost 24 hours. I was sitting downstairs, sipping my usual hot ginger tea, when I felt an icy chill crawl up my spine. There it goes again. That eerie, wispy hush of a wind, trying to call me to go to the room upstairs. So I got up and prayed, please be with me. I walked the dark staircase and careful with each step until I reached the door. I slowly turned the knob. Houses have become subject exploration since the start of the pandemic lockdowns. People have these funny ways of posting photos and videos of ridiculous house tours on social media. For quite some time it was fun. But as the months passed, the lockdown, yay, has turned into a lockdown, nay. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, has it ever occurred to you that your once familiar home spaces have now become reminders of isolation, loneliness, and boredom? And just like the room upstairs, some areas of the house have turned dull and frightening, which you would not dare explore. I do, and I felt bad about it. With work from home and online schooling for my kids, my house has turned into a busy place. The community lockdown has given me the opportunity, though, to become a full-time, hands-on mother to my little girl. Being there, carefully lurking in the background of her laptop camera, has become a delightful experience for me. My daughter is seated just an arm's stretch from my workspace so that I could eavesdrop from time to time. But there was this one time when I saw her carelessly tapping the keys with shaking fingers. So I asked her, "What's wrong, sweetie?" She said, "We are given 15 minutes to finish the quiz, and I'm having difficulty finding the keys. I will not make it." Supermom to the rescue. I took over the typing. 20 questions. Subject verb agreement. Not to worry, sweetie. Believe me, I've had better agreements with subjects and verbs than with your dad. Tap, there you go. Submit. Whoo! Right on time. Is your camera on? But my microphone is on mute mode. That was one humiliating act which ruined my reputation as a mother and as a professional. Instead of being a role model of integrity and morale, I have become my daughter's nightmare and embarrassment. My daughter approached me after her online classes that day. "That was one silly thing you did there, Ma." "I know. I'm sorry." "That's okay, Ma. But don't do it again, okay? You just stay in your space and me in mine, okay? Let me learn on my own this time, please." "Yes, sweetie. I will give you space." My little girl since then has become more independent and comfortable with online learning. She has finally found her meaningful space. Meaningful space. If she can do it, why can't I? Why can't you? So I searched for my meaningful spaces too. I took online classes on energy healing and meditation, and I share this with family, pets, and even my plants. I went back to my love for painting, and I indulged my family with my home cooking. And what's more, I reconnected with my second family, my Land Bank Toastmasters Club, and there I shared my stories again. Spaces are like blank canvases from which we could paint with the emotions we want to evoke. My meaningful spaces allowed me to relax, feel good about myself and my surroundings, and reconnect with those whom I love. Let us not be consumed with isolation, loneliness, and boredom. Instead, may I ask you this? From where you are seated or standing now, I want you to look around and search for these 3 meaningful spaces from which you could create or recreate starting today. 1. Spaces which encourage family bonding. 2. Spaces which remove barriers that impede learning and interaction. And 3. Spaces that break walls to expand the space filled with life and love. Do you want to know what happened to the room upstairs? I turned that forlorn and cluttered space into a clean reading and prayer room. Contest Master.
We will serve 1 minute of silence while the judges complete their ballots. Timer, please notify me when 1 minute is up. May I ask contestant number 2 to turn on your video so that we can test your equipment. May I ask contestant number 3 To turn on your video, Jill Karen Farley, kindly turn on your video so that we can test your equipment. You are unmuted. Kindly turn on your mic.
Sorry.
Can you see the timer now? Please confirm.
I just see the screen with silence, please.
Okay, so are you in cell phone? Are you using cell phone or laptop?
Laptop.
Okay. So by now you should be seeing the timer at the top portion.
Not yet, Miss Sha.
Okay. Are you in gallery view? Can you do gallery view?
Is that
Kindly click
side by side gallery? Is that right?
yes. Yes, please.
Okay, now I see the timer now.
Okay. Can you test your mic?
Mic test, mic test. 1, 2, 3.
We will be skipping contestant number 2 and proceed with contestant number 3. Again, we will be skipping contestant number 2 and proceed with contestant number 3. Contestant number 3, Jill Karen Farley. Gone. Gone. Jill Karen Farley, contestant number 3.
Ba-bum, 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 ba-bum. Have you ever heard a baby's heartbeat from inside the womb? It's incredibly magical, like the feeling you get when you're lying on the grass, looking at the velvety night sky sprinkled with stars. Now, close your eyes. Imagine how you'd feel if suddenly the sky went pitch black. That throbbing sound, gone. Over a year ago, I suffered a miscarriage. It was the second time, but this one hit me harder because after 6 years of trying, I was told that was our last shot. All hope has gone. No more trying again. No more waiting for the right time. No more new heartbeat sounds to listen to. I got a lot of messages from family and friends during that time, and one quote has struck me. It says, sometimes the things that hurt you most teach you the greatest lesson. Contest chair, friends, let me share with you 3 life-changing lessons losing someone I've never even met has taught me. First is empathy. Back then, just days after I got out of the hospital, I wasn't myself. I cry when I'm left alone. I cry when it gets dark. I cry when it rains. There were triggers everywhere. I lie all the time answering the dreaded question, how are you? How can I describe this aching pain? I found it much easier to just say, I'm coping well. You see, that only proves that not all smiles are genuine. Someone may be dying of pain, but can still crack a joke. We don't have the faintest idea of each other's struggles. So why don't we try harder to be more empathetic, understand each other's perspective, and base our reactions on it? Now we go to the second one, acceptance. Life doesn't always turn out the way you planned it. Do you agree with me? Remember when 2020 made us throw out our planners? When we're in deep pain, We tend to demand for reasons just so we could feel a bit of comfort. We crave to know the whys, thinking it's the key to acceptance. But in this loss, I learned that God has reasons I can never comprehend. My emotions are valid, but that doesn't mean someone owes me an explanation. Acceptance is not being okay with your loss. It is believing that you will see through it. First was empathy, then acceptance. Now we go to the final and most important lesson, gratitude. Amidst the devastation, I was slapped with the reality that tomorrow was not promised. I now have a deeper appreciation of the day I get to live just by waking up. Seize the day you've been blessed with. Go get fit. Volunteer. Buy those shoes. Whatever it is, do it today. Celebrate small wins because that's when you'll realize you can never run out of things to be grateful for. I look at my kids and see them as miracles. And after this awful experience, I now hug them a little tighter than I used to. Now that I'm healed, I realized this misery served as a cocoon that turned me into a person who now savors every little moment. And you know what? I stopped lying because now I am truly at peace with my life as it is. I have shared this experience before, but I was engulfed with bitterness back then. Today, I am so proud to be sharing it with the purpose of giving strength to those who are in despair and grieving. I'm sure you've heard of this line before. They say only your child knows what your heart sounds like from the inside. When I think of that, I only wish God gives out one-day passes to his best behaved angels. Wouldn't it be nice if my dear sweet one can come visit? Hug me and listen to my heartbeat just one last time. Ba-bum, 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 ba-bum. Contest chair.
We will observe 1 minute of silence while the judges complete their ballots. Timer, please notify me when 1 minute is up. Requesting contestant number 4 to turn on your video so we can test your equipment. Can you turn on your mic?
Hello, hello.
Will, can you see the timer?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Can you test your mic and move around?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Contestant number 4, Will Lois Perez. Halo Figurines. Halo Figurines, Will Lois Perez, contestant number 4.
You know what I've always found odd? Piggy banks. Right, it's empty. So even if I break it, I get nothing from it, despite its pretty colors, its cute smile, and its very attractive figure, begging for attention. There's nothing in it. It's of no worth. It's just a piece of ceramic, a hollow figurine. Back in 2013, I was in a contest similar to this. I was still in high school and I was against other students. In fact, it was nationwide. Fortunately, I was able to receive awards in contests that I participated in. I still remember walking up on stage, shaking the judge's hand, and receiving 3 gorgeous medals. I loved these medals. In fact, I loved them so much that I would polish them, I would wash their slings when it got dirty, and most importantly, I would gaze at them every morning just to be reminded how awesome I was. I think the right word you're looking for is obsessive. Kidding aside, because of my love for these medals, I eventually hatched a plan. A little voice inside of my head said, "Will, you know what would be a good idea? If you brought them to school. And you know what would be a great idea? If you wore them to school." And the naive kid that I was, I said, that was perfect. People would be giving me their praise. People would be giving me their cheers. People would be giving me their applause. I was to be a king, and my medal was going to be my birthright of a crown. I was excited. I was looking forward to that day. And when that day came, nothing happened. Sure, there were congratulations here and there, but it was a normal day. And that infuriated me. Where was my grand parade? Where were my cheers? Where were my applause? With that infuriation, I still remember an instance. A classmate of mine approached me. He asked, "Will, can I ask for your help? I really need a favor, man." And callously, still fuming from not being recognized, I said to him, "No, you didn't even congratulate me for my achievements. Why should I help you?" Like King Midas being corrupted by his love of gold, such was I. I was arrogant. I demanded attention. Look at me. And worst of all, I pretended everyone was an inferior. Teachers, classmates, friends, no one was going to be above me. Being enthralled by visions of grandeur and superiority, I decided to just look around. Maybe there were still some peasants, appreciating the glory that was me. But when I started to look around, I saw no one. Not a single soul. I was alone. I had no invites to birthday parties. I had no barcadas to call my own. I had no shoulder to cry on. In fact, I would walk the halls of my school with loneliness as my only friend. My fellow Toastmasters, I was at my darkest moment. And I realized that I became a hollow figurine, empty, nothing of worth. But as they say, you're at the bottom, there's nowhere else but to go but up. It didn't happen overnight. It took a long time and a lot of effort. But I started with asking myself, what did I do wrong? How can I make it right? How to remain humble? How to build character? And with this mindset and with this action of putting in and building in character little by little, just like by depositing coins in a piggy bank, I was able to meet my closest friends. I was able to build lifelong relationships. And most important of all, I am right here, right now with you, sharing my story. So, my fellow Toastmasters, I'm not going to lie. I still have those times where I feel like I'm a superior, where I feel arrogant. But when I find myself going into that cycle, and if you find yourself in that cycle as well, ask yourself, will I just be another hollow figurine? I leave the answer to you. Contest Master.
We will observe 1 minute of silence while the judges complete their ballots. Timer, please notify me when 1 minute is up. Judges, as you complete your ballots, please take a picture or screenshot of the ballots and send the same directly to the FB Messenger of the Chief Judge or counter.
Thank you, Contest Master. Please send ballots to the Chief Judge. Thank you.
Fellow Toastmasters and friends, that concludes our international speech contest. Thank you to all our contestants. Thank you for your stories. We will now call a 5-minute break as we prepare for the next contest category. And we're back. We will now proceed to the next category, the table topic speech contest. The table topic speech contest of the Toastmasters International is designed to provide an opportunity to learn by observing good speakers who have benefited from the Toastmasters training and to encourage development of impromptu speaking skills. The table topic speech contest first and second place winners today will represent the area in the division level of competition. To be eligible for this contest, a contestant must be a member in good standing of a club in good standing. The time allocation is from 1 to 2 minutes. Speeches less than 1 minute or greater than 2 minutes and 30 seconds shall be deemed disqualified. Timing will begin with the contestant's first definite verbal or non-verbal cues. The contestants have been briefed on the rules, the Zoom screen location, the operation of the timing lights, as well as the rules for the disconnection. In accordance with the Toastmasters contest rule, I will make no introduction of the contestants and merely announce each contestant's name followed by the topic. I will repeat the topic and end it by repeating the contestant's name. Immediately upon conclusion of each contestant's speech, we will observe 1 minute of silence while judges complete their ballots. The contestants have previously drawn for position. The speaking order shall be: contestant number 1, Maynard Ryan Espina. Contestant number 2, Maria Karen Menyes Rodil. Contestant number 3, Jericho Von Miranda. Contestant number 4, Angela Colleen Rivera. Before we start with the contest, I would like to remind the Zoom audience on some rules to observe during the contest. Always maintain your mic on mute and your video cam turned off. The audience is requested to refrain from leaving or entering the Zoom link while the contest is ongoing. Appreciation of the speech is welcome via Zoom chat. However, we encourage the audience to ensure that the posted chat messages are not distracting or offending to the speaker. To the contestants, contest officials, or judges, if you get disconnected, please notify our contest chair so that you can be immediately admitted in the Zoom meeting room immediately. We are now set for the contest. Chief Judge, are the judges ready? Chief Judge?
Chief Judge ang disconnect.
Okay. Let's wait for the return of the Chief Judge. Thank you, Princeton, for a very cozy music. So I repeat, Chief Judge, are the judges ready?
Yes, we're ready.
Thank you. Contestants, are we ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
That's the spirit. Fellow Toastmasters and friends, welcome to the year 2021 Table Topic Speech Contest. I now have the speech topic. Zoom Marshall Except for contestant number 1, kindly transfer all the other table topic contestants to the breakout room and inform me once done. May I request now contestant number 1 to turn on your video and mic so we can test your equipment. Hello, Maynard. Can you see the timer?
Yes, I can see it clearly.
Okay. So can you speak while moving around?
Yes, mic test, 1, 2, 3. So this is my first time. Just a disclaimer.
Okay. Let's move
Yeah, I'm
around.
dancing. I don't hear any music, but I'm dancing just to make me feel alive because I'm sleepy.
That's great.
Other contestants moved.
Let's proceed. Contestant number 1, Maynard Ryan Espina. Your topic is, it is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent that survives. It is the one that is most adaptable to change, by Charles Darwin. I repeat, it is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent that survives. It is the one that is most adaptable to change. Charles Darwin. Maynard Ryan Espina, contestant number 1.
It was Heraclitus, a philosopher, who said that the only constant thing in this world is change. When I was in college, I thought that I was going to become a priest. I entered the seminary. I focused on it for a year, and I focused on my studies. But then along the way, God changed my path. It was in my 4th year in college when I was asked to leave the seminary for a year to do my discernment. And so I did. That entire year, I thought of whether coming back or just staying outside. But then, because of my philosophical background, I questioned myself and I got the answer. And that was to leave. Because in my entire stay in the seminary, I was in love with a woman. You see, I thought at first that I was going to become a priest. But then I realized that God really changes the path. And He made me realize that my parents, my uncles and aunties impinged in me those thoughts when I was young. That's why I thought of getting into the school. But God, in His marvelous deeds and in His infinite wisdom, He placed in me a woman that really made me feel in love and changed my path. Contest chair.
We will observe 1 minute of silence while the judges complete their ballots. Timer, please notify me when 1 minute is up. kindly turn off your video, contestant number 1. May I call on contestant number 3 to please turn on your video and your mic so we can test your equipment. Zoom Master, kindly transfer contestant number 3. If contestant number 2 is still not yet present, please proceed with contestant number 3. Transfer him to the main contest room. Okay. Von, can you see the
Master.
timer? Can you see the timer?
I can see the green, yellow, and red.
Okay, that's great. Kindly test your equipment now.
Check, sound check. Mic test, 1, 2. Can you hear me?
Okay. Let's proceed. Contestant number 3, we will proceed to contestant number 3. Contestant number 2, we will skip. Again, we will skip contestant number 2 and proceed with contestant number 3. Contestant number 3, Jericho Von Miranda. Your topic is, it is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent that survives. It is the one that is most adaptable to change. Charles Darwin. I repeat, it is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent that survives. It is the one that is most adaptable to change. Charles Darwin. Jericho Von Miranda, contestant number 3.
Everyone, I called for you for this meeting to discuss a very important matter. The following matters are as follows: agenda, meeting points, and resolution. That was a meeting with my family when we had a financial crisis. You would think it's a work meeting or maybe a Toastmasters meeting at that, but no, it's not. When we hit a financial concern in the family, I realize and I think that I am a strong one, a strong person, a leader, or perhaps a manager. So I called for a meeting, arranged the session, and even had the minutes to take on to get resolutions, solutions, and commitment. I asked my family, gathered in a table, like a conference room, and I thought to myself, Bon, you are doing great. You are like a good manager. And so I thought, but when we get home, or individually, my siblings texted me. They didn't like the idea. They were hurt. Apparently, I realized it's not about always winning. It's not about being right and surviving. It is always being compassionate, especially in your family. Because family is nothing but business. It's not work. Family is all you got after this. They are all you have. So remember, my dear Toastmasters and friends, we can always win at arguments, but we might lose relationships. And that doesn't make us the strongest. Dear Toastmasters and friends, may I ask you, are you always winning? On this chair.
We will observe 1 minute of silence while the judges complete their ballots. Timer, please notify me when 1 minute is up. Contestant number 3, you will now turn off your video and mic. Zoom Master, kindly transfer contestant number 4 from the breakout room to the main contest room. Contestant number 4, can you see the timer?
Yes, I can see the timer.
Kindly test your equipment now.
Hello, mic test. Mic test. 1, 2, 3.
Time's up. Contestant number 4, Angela Colleen Rivera. Your topic is, it is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent that survives. It is the one that is most adaptable to change. Charles Darwin. I repeat, it is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent that survives. It is the one that is most adaptable to change. Charles Darwin. Angela Colleen Rivera, contestant number 4.
When I was in college, I decided to move 64.4 kilometers away from my home in Metro Manila to UP Los Baños. I was alone for the very first time in my life because when I was in grade school and high school, I've always been sheltered as an only child. When I was in college, I thought I was ready. I thought I was smart and I thought I was good and I thought I could keep up. For the first sem, I realized how all those thoughts were very, very wrong. But nonetheless, I tried my best. And I persevered not to be the top of my class, but to at least adapt to this brand new environment. New environment filled with new people, new environment away from home, a new environment where I could only count on myself. Those 4 years I spent alone in college taught me a lot about adapting. And the lessons that I've learned there are still lessons that I'm able to recall and apply until now. Ladies and gentlemen in this room, there are a lot of instances in our lives that we will be called to be smart. We will be called to be strong. And maybe in that particular moment, we may achieve just that. But more than anything, we need to adapt to survive. Because if we don't adapt, we may be strong for a moment. We may be at once the smartest in the room. We may even be the prettiest, if that's the case that we want. But in the end, if we don't apply, the moral course of the universe may turn out against us. So fellow Toastmasters in the room, as I end this, I want to pose a question to you. Would you rather be the strongest, the prettier, or even the winner for a certain time? Or would you rather be the overall survivor? Thank you. Back to you, contest chair.
We will observe 1 minute of silence while the judges complete their ballots. Timer, please notify me when 1 minute is up. Judges, as you complete your ballots, please take a picture or screenshot of the ballots and send the same directly to the chief judge or counter. Fellow Toastmasters, friends, and guests, That concludes our year 2021 Table Topic Speech Contest. Thank you to all our contestants. We will now call a 5-minute break as we prepare for the next and last contest category. Music, please. May I request the test speaker to turn on your mic and video cam so we can test your equipment?
Hello, mic test. Sound check. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you. Can you see the timer?
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you. May I request some contestants to rename for the evaluation category? And we are officially back. Let's proceed to the last contest category, Evaluation Speech Contest. The Evaluation Speech Contest of the Toastmasters International Training Program is designed to provide instant feedback to the speaker on how well he or she has met the criteria of delivering a speech and to offer recommendations for improvement. The Evaluation Speech Contest today will select the best of the area level participants to determine the first and second placers who will represent the area to the division level of competition. To be eligible for this contest, a contestant must be a member in good standing of a club in good standing. The time allocation is from 2 to 3 minutes. Speeches less than 1 minute and 30 seconds or greater than 3 minutes and 30 seconds shall be deemed disqualified. Timing will begin with the contestant's first definite verbal or non-verbal cues. The contestants have been briefed on the rules, the Zoom screen location, the operation of the timing lights, and the rules in case of disconnection. In accordance with Toastmasters contest rules, all evaluation contestants today will evaluate the same test speaker. After the test speaker has finished speaking, contestants will be given 5 minutes to complete their notes, after which this will be sealed and set aside not to be opened until their turn. This shall be strictly monitored by the Zoom marshal as they proceed to the breakout room. I will make no introduction of the contestants and merely announce each contestant's name twice. And immediately upon conclusion of each contestant's speech, we will observe 1 minute of silence while our judges complete their ballots. The contestants have drawn for position. Their speaking order shall be contestant number 1, Angela Colleen Rivera. Contestant number 2, Maria Karen Menyes Rodil. Contestant number 3, Olympia Navarro Cruz. Before we start with the contest, I would like to remind the Zoom audience on some rules to be observed, and the rules are being posted in the chat box. Appreciation of the speech is welcome via Zoom chat. However, we encourage the audience to ensure that the posted chat messages are not distracting or offending to the speaker and the test speaker. To the contestants, contest officials, or judges, if you get disconnected, please notify our contest chair so that you can be admitted in the Zoom meeting room immediately. We are now set for the contest. Chief Judge, are the judges ready?
Yes, they are.
Yeah. Contestants, are we ready?
Yes, we are.
Fellow Toastmasters, welcome to the 2021 Evaluation Speech Contest. Before I call on the test speaker, I now request the contestants to turn on your videocam and show your uniform evaluation sheets or blank sheets of paper. Can I ask the other contestants to turn on your videocam? Okay. You may now turn off your videocam. Let's call on our test speaker. Haniel Pendon, Peacemakers. Peacemakers, Haniel Pendon.
I hate conflicts. I don't want to be in conflicts. Even the thought of it, just being involved in one, exhausts me so much. Conflicts are draining. They strain relationships and even cause some old age markings right here, some over here, some over here. But I say that conflicts are unavoidable. They can be wherever we may be, like in our friends, our families, and sometimes the worst in our workplaces. It is said that eating cornflakes at breakfast is what successful people do. Would you believe that? But I thought, isn't that tiring? Isn't that stressful? But I thought, what is it in conflicts? What is it in resolving this one that would help people become successful? I see that it's about negotiation. Negotiation could and should aim for the little or even to no damage as possible. In negotiation, in its kindest and purest forms, everybody wants a win-win situation. However, for some will win and others lose. Others may have to sacrifice a lot. And for others, they just have to walk away. Leaders have faced numerous circumstances like this, and people in the ministry are not exempted. Sometimes it's one of the worst, controversial, complicated issues that we face. Like this worker that we have in our organization, we have been trying to ask to relieve him from his duties and responsibilities because of the risk of COVID-19. However, on his side, he wants to continue and states that this activity that he has is the one thing that keeps him away from degenerating. So we thought, why shouldn't we offer some benefits for him as he retires? We can even offer him to keep on involving as a preacher every Sundays or on activities he is present. He can even have this continued financial support to help him his transition. Though we are quite hesitant, quite anxious, and quite careful because of this guy's personality. He is quite a bit complicated. The organization is not extending any more negotiation and wants to put it right there, right then, because we have been already in this position compromising this deal. As I read this speech, I am quite confused and find it difficult because, as I said earlier, conflicts are not my thing. This gives me high blood pressure and a lot of headaches and even a massive result of overeating. Can you see the round face attached to a double chin right there? That is stress. I retrospect and I have been inspecting about myself. Maybe this overeating, this double chin attached to a round face, maybe I think that it is I who is entering into a lot of conflicts in my life, unresolved ones, bigger ones, complicated ones. But as I ponder on writing this speech, I have thought, maybe I have not been assertive of myself. I have never talked about what I want. I have never given a thought of trying to speak up for myself. Conflicts are blatant, widespread ever since, more than this pandemic has started. Who might have thought we have conflicts in our families when we get together, in our houses, in our homes 24/7, in our schools, even in our government. Who can we blame for this? For this chaos, for this madness, for these sufferings that we have? We want to point fingers to people who have caused this mess. But dear Toastmasters, our guests, everyone in this room right now, daily we are faced with so much conflicts, even the conflicts in our head. And we demand to make a decision. We are involved in a never-ending conflicts of this wretched world full of mistakes, full of disappointments, of failures. We want to point fingers. But to everyone listening right now, I ask you, point that finger back at you. Point that finger back at you. And say this with me. I am pointing at the one who can make things better. To my fellow human beings, be a light in this world. Point that finger back at you that you can resolve little things, even bigger things in your life, in your organization, wherever you are placed right now, resounding the words of the Prince of Peace who have spoken 2,000 years ago. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called children of God. Go and be a peacemaker. Contest chair.
May I now request the evaluation contestants to turn on your video and microphone. We will now observe 5 minutes of silence to allow the contestants to complete their notes. Timer, please notify me when 5 minutes is up. Time's up. Contestant, kindly seal your notes. Kindly show us that you're sealing your notes. Contestant number 3, can you turn on your video? Thank you. Zoom Marshal, except for contestant number 1, please transfer the other contestant to the breakout room. Please ensure that, that her note and cell phone are set aside. And kindly inform me once done. Angela, let us test your equipment. Can you see the timer?
Yes, I can see the timer.
Oh.
Testing my audio, if the register is okay.
Yes, it's okay.
Zoom
Zoom Marshal.
It's done. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's proceed. Contestant number 1, Angela Colleen Rivera. Angela Colleen Rivera, contestant number 1.
Successful people eat complex for breakfast. I disagree. Successful people solve complex problems with agreeable solutions. And this is what your message was to me, Toastmaster Haniel. Instead of focusing on the overall complex, by this definition, we can also be successful people if we all decide to choose to be peacemakers in our own little ways. I was able to quickly follow your story because not only were you successful in establishing what complex is, but you also gave examples from your coworker to how you personally handle complex. That gave me a good preference of how you are as a person when it comes to complications and the experiences on the topic that you've experienced. Also, your delivery was filled with gestures, and I was able to feel your personality seeping right out of your speech. You already made references about being in the ministry, and your takeaway wraps it all up when you left us with that line on the Bible phrase. Not only was I able to be more educated on complex, but it also gave me some memories of the complicated experiences I had with my relationships in life, especially in your first part where you mentioned that it can be present in family, in friends, in relationship, and even at work. And you gave an immediate example to that. And then you also gave again an example to how you're less assertive when it comes to complications. Toastmaster Haniel, I would have liked it better if you'd shared with us the story of this complex character at work, if you would have shared with us what happened, because you only gave us a glimpse, but you didn't tell us what happened in between. Did he agree? Did he not? Were there even further complications? Did he agree with the benefits? Or did you arrive at a compromise? Also, when you said that this is how you handle complications, that you were less assertive, that you were like this and like that, it would have been better if you gave us a more personal example of a complication you've experienced and how you can say you were complex. You were assertive to complex. Overall, it was a good speech, but I challenge you that in your next speech, stick to just one story of complex and take us from there. That way, we'll be able to focus more on your story, on your message, and on your takeaway. Thank you. Back to you, Contest Chair.
We will observe 1 minute of silence while the judges complete their ballots. Timer, please notify me when 1 minute is up. Zoom Master, kindly transfer the next contestant to the contest room. Olympia Cruz, kindly turn on your video and your microphone. Okay, you may now open your notes. And kindly confirm, can you see the timer? Can you see the timer?
Yes, I can see now the colored timer.
Okay. Let us test your equipment.
Sound check. Sound 1, 2. Sound check.
Okay. Feel free to read your notes and give me the cue once you're done. One minute is up. Please note that we will be skipping contestant number 2 and will be proceeding to contestant number 3. I repeat, we will be skipping contestant number 2 and we will proceed to contestant number 3. Contestant number 3, Olympia Navarro Cruz. Olympia Navarro Cruz, contestant number 3.
Delivering a speech is such a powerful tool in communication. To inspire, to entertain, or to tell a story are just some of the personal goals and objectives when we try to deliver a speech. Contest chair, fellow Toastmasters, Toastmaster Han. Today I will share with you the basic elements that made the speech of Toastmaster Han a success. Toastmaster Han, I especially appreciate how clearly you describe the concept of conflict, almost so that I felt it to my bones, into my mind, into my emotions all throughout your speech. I felt and knew that you knew what you were talking about. I also appreciate that you gave us examples of how you saw conflict in your own social circle. As your evaluator, I would like to share with you some enhancements to help you in your journey to be a better speaker. But I will give you keywords so that it will be easy for you to retain these lessons. These are the lessons of redistribution, balance, and matching. First is redistribution. You started your speech by describing the concept or the feeling of conflict. And then you gave us an idea or a resolution when you said that there could be negotiation. But in the middle part of your speech, I was looking forward to hearing a more positive concept about negotiation and how you will support that it will really resolve conflict. In my personal opinion, I would like to see you first to insert a concept of the advantages of resolving the conflict before introducing the solutions to your conflict so that I will better appreciate why I want to resolve conflict. And secondly, you said that the first resolution is negotiation. But I was waiting for you to mention the next 2 or 3 resolutions to conflict. So I would highly recommend that in your next speech, you try to integrate two more resolutions on how we could really resolve conflict. Another recommendation that I have mentioned a while ago is organization. In an organized speech, you have an introduction, a body, and a conclusion. I recommend that when you discuss your subtopics, you support it with your subtopics or illustrations on how you think negotiation will solve the conflict, on how you think communication will solve the conflict. And the last is matching. The matching of your emotions, your facial expressions, and your body expressions with what you're saying. Because I saw a hint of smile when you were in the portion where you were describing that you gained weight because of the conflict, but there was a hint of smile. So matching, organization, and redistribution. But all in all, I truly believe, I personally believe that you knew what you were discussing. You are passionate about it because you want, in the end, to solve peace and to solve conflict. You and I did not join Toastmasters because we are already good. We are in a journey, continuous journey to be better speakers and better leaders so that we will be able to keep on inspiring and telling our story. Contest share.
We will observe 1 minute of silence while the judges complete their ballots. Timer, please notify me when 1 minute is up. Contestant, you may now turn off your video and mic. Judges, as you complete your ballots, please take a picture or a screenshot of the ballots and send the same directly to the chief judge or counter. Fellow Toastmasters, that concludes our evaluation speech contest. Thank you to all our participants and thank you to our test speaker, Haniel Pendon. We will now call a break as we prepare for the awarding ceremony. For now, the next portion will be the issuance of the certificates of participation after the 1 minute of silence. We will now set to the awarding of certificates. May I now request contestants to turn on your video cam as I announce each category. Right now, the Zoom master is returning all the contestants to the main room for the
And
awarding of certificates.
the whole audience as well.
And the whole audience. So let's wait because our Zoom master will take charge for our transfer.
All rooms will close in a few seconds.
Thank you, Zoom Master. We are all back to the main room. May I request the Zoom Master to now flash the certificates, and I will be calling each contestant one by one.